Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Well, welcome to Total Football Talk. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Aaron.
and I don't know why. So he's live, and I would say large, but that's obvious. But he's not in charge either. So his wife runs the show, like mine. Let's be honest. Every guy knows that's how that works.
Usually.
So, all kidding aside, we are going to do this without the phone, so I don't want to hear any crap about audio because my audio is too crappy to mention. But I digress. Hopefully we'll be fixing that this week. A couple things that we want to go over. We're going to cover Ram and Browns new unis last. Want to cover that later. That's going to be, stay tuned until the end. That's called what do they call that? Cliffhanger?
Maybe.
Thing. I forget what they call it in show business. I'm not a show business. I got a face made for radio. All right. The other thing that we're going to talk about is we're going to cover the Tom Brady baloney, the BS, CBA, some other free agents, and we're going to talk about Black Tebow. Stay tuned. You'll find out what that means in a minute.
Hey, MM Forever. This is for you. My favorite running back, not named Walter Payton. It's an LA show.
Yeah, right? So, there's only one team in LA. The Chargers are fake. They're trying to be. Anyway, I digress. So,
postmark your comments to San Diego.
Sorry. All right.
Jack Murphy Stadium.
So let's get into this first. The CBA. I love how the NFL likes to talk about player safety, and then they want to have a CBA that has less time in pads, less practice time, more games, as if that's what fans are clamoring for is more games. It's getting to the point where it's going to be like baseball.
It's going to calendar itself out, really. Are you going to start earlier? I've heard the season going and with the Super Bowl ending on the Sunday before President's Day because most everybody has that day off.
Yeah.
How are they going to be able to work it? But then some people don't want a 17-game schedule. They want the 18-game schedule. So it's like, okay, well, who are the other two teams you're going to play? How are you going to figure that out? Like, how is it going to be fair? Like, I think the way they have it set up is perfect for 16 games.
Mm-hmm.
Each division game twice. Another division in your conference. Where you place those winners throughout the conference, and then one AFC division. And you switch every 4 years. Like,
maybe that's your two games. Maybe you play the AFC team that finished the same place you did.
It's possible. Or I heard a regional type of thing.
Yeah.
As far as if we do a 17 games season, Bears and Colts, Bears Browns, Lions Bengals, Raiders Rams.
Rams Chargers.
There's endless possibilities, but I don't know. Like I heard what Ryan Fitzpatrick said. He said he's voting in favor of the CBA. He basically wanted to say, hey, you know what? I'm voting for this. It's more for the guys after me, but there's going to be less time in pads. And when I read that, I'm like, that's the last thing you need. Like, you're getting injured more now. You have all these soft tissue injuries now. Okay. When guys play...
The league already can't tackle. The league already can't tackle. Deion Sanders today would be the number one tackling corner in the National Football League. Let that sink in. For anybody that knows anything about football pre-2001, okay, think about that. Deion Sanders would be a great tackler today. That's how he would be labeled. One of the worst tackling corners that ever lived. And by today's standards, he'd be the gold standard. So you're going to take more pads away. Like, it's already almost unwatchable.
You might as well just not have pads throughout the OTAs, throughout training camp, and you might as well not have pads during practice during the regular season because that's where it's going to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, suck it up. Do what you're supposed to do and tackle the right way, and you won't get injured.
Here's what it boils down to for me, and I'm going to get real personal here for a minute. And I don't care if this upsets people or not. But I personally, I'm not going to get into political speak here for a minute. I'm just going to call it like I see it. This absolute demasculinated sport that is football. Football used to be a machizo sport, right? Not everyone would go out and play because not everyone wanted to get punched in the mouth 30 times through the course of a football game. Not everybody can take a hit and pop back up. Not everybody enjoys that kind of carnage. Now it's basically it's soccer players are tougher. Soccer players are tougher. I've seen tougher people. I've seen tougher kids on the playground. I can't tell you how many times I've watched an old game, saw a dude, we just saw it today, Chris Miller, helmet to helmet, rocked. The head went, he looked like Mr. T when freaking Rocky was pounding him in the face. Ain't so bad. Ain't so, it was bad, right? Popped right back up. Didn't even miss a play. Celebrated the touchdown. Woo.
Now, guys, stretcher, out for 6 games or more.
Need to make a rule change. Bruce Smith would have been fined and suspended. And we got to protect the players. And then we're going to protect the players by not having them condition and practice in the very uniform that they're going to. That's truly equivalent to telling a soldier, we're going to train you for war. But we're not going to have you use a gun. You're not allowed to fire a gun because, guns are dangerous, right? Can't fire a gun. And you I don't even know. That's about as good as an example as I can get. Right? It's like training a pilot to fly without a plane. At some point, you're going to need the uniform, right? But these guys today, this is why it's unwatchable. This year, I watched the least amount of football in my life, and I felt better about it. I didn't have Sunday ticket. I missed most of the games. Saw things the way I used to back in the early 90s when I had to either catch it on, the score scroll by and just deal with whatever game was on TV. But those games are so bad, I didn't even watch them. Who wants to watch the Cardinals against the friggin' Lions week 1? Miss me with that nonsense. Right?
Well, especially when you ended a tie.
Yeah, no kidding. But, it's so, and then we still have these 1980s regional shit. The sport is hurting. I've said this before, and I'll say it over and over again. And you could talk about gambling saving the sport, but once fans like me walk away, I don't know that it has much left. Because they're not going to make their money on revenue.
How soon until they turn to flags?
Right.
Okay.
All kidding aside.
If the CBA is going to give them an extra game, they're not worried about player safety at all. They just want this.
Yeah.
That's all that is right there. The Jaguars are playing 2 games in London as the home team.
Yeah. So
how soon are they going to football's about to go global. It pretty much is a global sport because they're playing everywhere. They're playing in Mexico City. I think the Cardinals or Lions are going to back down there again this year. Again, the Jaguars going to London twice, 2 home games there. It's okay, well, if you're taking away from your fan base where your home is and you're taking it to London, and I know you get a lot of revenue in London because there's a lot of people over there who are I don't care about football, I just want to go. Because you see it all in the crowd. How soon is it going to be the London Jaguars or whatever the heck they call them?
Well, and here's my question. Are they going to give Jaguar fans a discount? Do they get their money back? Because they're not getting 8 home games. They're getting 6. So they should get a discounted price on that.
I would think they would. But, again, ownership.
This is why Roger Goodell needs to go away. And honestly, I'm going to be nice. I don't care how it is. To insert how you'd like to see Roger Goodell go bye-bye from the National Football League. I know how I would, but it's not appropriate for YouTube. He needs to go. But he won't.
No, he won't because it's a $40 billion revenue stream, and
he's making the owner's money.
This, that, the other thing. Yeah, that's all they want. So he'll ride off into the sunset with his yearly salary, pension, and private jet, and health care. That's for the rest of his life. So he's fine.
Yeah. So what is the CBA really about? It's about hypocrisy. Take a look at it. You want to increase games, but then you're going to talk to me about player safety? Well, the way to take care of player safety is they're going to have them play less in pads. No, that's not helping them. That's hurting them. You are removing the very equipment that they need to be trained in to perform at an optimum level and stay healthy. You're removing that, and you're increasing games. What, are we going to have a Friday night game next?
They're also looking at shortening the preseason from 4 to 2 games.
Yeah, and they're going to add 2 regular season games.
1 to start out, but if the owners get their way, some owners have already come out and said
they hope they cancel.
We hope they vote no. And there's quite a few players who've already spoken out saying no, this isn't a good deal for us. Apparently, there's been a new CBA that's been sent to the players. They had until I believe it was this Thursday coming up, to where the vote, but they extended it to Saturday. So who knows? They can't change their vote. That's already been put out there. So who knows what? But all they're going to see is dollar signs, and
even the players.
It's probably gonna pass.
See, and let's be honest. Let's talk about the players here for a minute too. They don't care about any of this stuff. See, this is what I can't stand about being lied to. You're telling me that the product sucks and it's watered down, but it's for player safety, and then the owners do the very thing that will ensure that the players aren't safe, and the players sign their name on the dotted line for the very thing that will ensure they're not safe because money. That's all it is. That's all it is. So for me, the CBA is a giant bag of hypocritical dog crap, steamy and hot, for us to just deal with it. So I don't care.
Well, it's really a choice. Either watch it or don't.
And I'm getting to the point where it's don't. Like, I'll watch a Ram game, but don't. Honestly, the only reason I watched the Super Bowl this year, there were 2 reasons. 1, it was something different, so that was at least worthwhile. And 2, I was invited to go to someone's house to watch the game. They were like, hey, I want you to come over and watch the game with us. Okay. That's the only reason why I actually watched the entire thing. I actually left in the 4th quarter. I knew the Chiefs were going to come back and win, by the way. I told you, first quarter. I said this on our show. First quarter is going to tell you who's going to win the game. As soon as it was 7-3, KC, I was like, it's over. Chiefs won. Bared fruit. Now, they were down 10, but being down 10 to Shanahan is like being up 35 with 1 second left to play. It's all but guaranteed victory. I mean, it's not like it was 28-3. I digress. Second thing, Brady in the who gives a flying frick of the day. Okay, so let me tell you something. Where does Brady end up? I'll tell you where I think he ends up. And then I will say what some options are. But it doesn't matter where he goes because it's all going to be the same thing. You have a crappy quarterback who's played past his prime, who can't throw the ball downfield, and is just really good at handing the football off. Now, if you want to pay $60 million, Oakland, for a 42-year-old quarterback that's really good at handing the football off and throwing 5-yard patterns to wide receivers that you have that can't catch, go ahead. Sounds like a great investment if you're a Chief fan. Anyway.
Oakland has a decent quarterback. He had a bad year this past year. Yeah. Okay. Oakland's not too far away. They just need to get a few more pieces. And you can do that in the draft. You can do that in free agency. Do not give Brady $60 million. Yes, Darren Waller is going to be his favorite target. Yes, all he's got to do is hand the ball to Josh Jacobs, probably one of the best running backs he would ever have played with in his career, and that's going back a long way. Okay?
Corey Dillon was pretty damn good.
Yeah, but his best years were in Cincinnati.
He had a couple 1,000-yard seasons.
You could get 1,000 yards.
Hey, I wasn't a bad running back in my time, thank you.
And then Brady to San Francisco. I think that was the joke of the month.
Dude, I would love it. I would pay the 49ers season ticket prices to encourage them to make that move. Please do.
I think that would be stupid for them.
No! Shut up! Brilliant! Brilliant! Like the Guinness brothers. Do it. Do it! Remember the guys from Starsky and Hutch?
Yeah.
Do it. Just do it. Yeah, that's a great move. Don't be mocking that.
The Rams should sign him too. There was early right before the season ended. There was talk about going to the Bears. I'm like, no, I don't want him. He'll get killed behind her O-line. Do you really think we want to be burying somebody at the 50-yard line?
He'll find Jimmy Hoffa right there.
Yeah, he's in Detroit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There was going back to New England, which I think is probably his best option. I think his second best option is going to Tennessee.
Yeah. I think if anybody really believes Tom Brady is leaving New England, you are stupid. Like, I'm just going to say it straight up. You're dumb.
I think there's
no reason for him to leave.
I think it's a 50-50 chance. And
that's what he wants you to believe until he signs.
And I say that because apparently there's been talk of him having conversations with Belichick and him not getting what he wanted out of the phone call. But he's got Robert Kraft on his side.
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody's going to have to swallow their pride. And I think Kraft is going to make Belichick swallow his pride.
Again.
Resign Brady.
Again.
Okay. 2 years, $50 million, $60 million, whatever. And then that's it. And he'll probably only play a year.
And I think Belichick leaves after this year and goes to the New York Giants.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I'm going to say right now, I think he goes to the New York Giants. Because this would be the second time in a row that Belichick has... So now everyone in that locker room is going to know this year. Because this is what's going to happen. Brady's going to sign and stay in New England. 2 years, $60 million. Brady wants to play 3 more years. So I think it's going to be...
Brady's not going to play 3 more years.
This is what he wants to do. So I think it's going to be a 3-year, $60, $90 million deal. $30 million a year. That's what it's going to be. Belichick is going to be like, if you do this, I'm out. I'm coaching this team 1 more year because I think it's too late to leave.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think he goes to New York next year. I think 2021 he's a New York Giants head coach.
Giants have a new coach already?
Did that stop him before? Yeah. Who is this guy? He's the ball sniffer for the New England Patriots.
Who would you rather work under, Robert Kraft or Dave Gettleman? Exactly. Gettleman would be fired because Belichick's his own GM.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Why do I say twice? Because he wanted to keep Garoppolo. And the Patriots are like, no, we're keeping Brady. So he lost that. Now he loses again to Tom Brady. Who's really running that team? And you don't think everybody in that locker room knows Brady runs that show? Yeah, I think he's out.
Brady only wants the offense upgraded, which I can see where he's coming from. His offense sucked after week 8. Okay,
that's because his arm sucks after week 3 of the preseason.
The only person he had catching footballs was Julian Edelman, and he was getting double covered. He wants an upgrade at tight end, which Austin Hooper makes sense. I don't want that to happen. He needs another wide receiver. Can N'Keal Harry step up? Who knows? They're not going to trust a second-year wide receiver. They want somebody legit. And that's why the only reason why I think if he leaves New England, he'd go to Tennessee. He knows Vrabel. He can hand off to Derrick Henry. He's got,
I got a solution.
A.J. Brown. He's got Adam Humphries.
Trade Brandon Cooks to New England for N'Keal Harry.
Could work.
I'll take it. I'll take that second-year wide receiver all day.
And then N'Keal Harry traded to Chicago for Mitch
Trubisky. What Trubisky?
Stop it.
Whatever.
Where do you come up with this stuff?
I don't know. It just pops in there. Look, here's the bottom line. I don't think you're stupid if you think Brady's going to leave. That was a little harsh. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Obviously, there's reasons for Brady to leave. But if you really believe he's going to be in anything, first of all, it's an ego thing for Brady. Okay? He's not going to be okay with seeing him in a different uniform somewhere else. I really believe that. And he knows in New England, if they lose, he don't get the blame. But you go to a new city and you're supposed to be the savior, say a Dallas, like they were talking about. First of all, he's not going to get his number. And if he did get his number, Roger Staubach's a better person than me. But secondly...
Staubach would let him have it. He would. Watch.
Secondly... Like, you don't think Dallas media would excoriate Frankenstein? Yeah, I'm calling him Frankenstein. Look at him. He looks like Frankenstein. Man used to be attractive. Now I'm better looking, and I'm 41. What the hell happened to him? He's got money. That's about it. Dude is ugly as sin. Like, Peyton Manning looks better now. No, I'm not gay. I'm just saying. You're looking at me like some kind of problem. Sounds like I'm having a therapy session over here. Look, all I'm saying, he is an ugly dude now. And I'll stop. This is getting uncomfortable. that, I figure you wanted to talk a little bit about that. I digress.
It's
anyway.
not a 49er.
Sorry, MM. You just got slammed twice. He's a Niner fan. He's used to that. All right.
He's not a Niner fan. Oh, he is a Niner. Oh, crap.
Yeah. What are you talking
Sorry,
about?
dude.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Look, all kidding aside, all joking aside, I think Brady's going to end up in New England. I don't think there's another option for him. As far as getting optimum what he wants. This is like you said before. It's a power play.
Yeah.
He's doing this to get as much money as humanly possible out of New England, knowing full well it's the best place for him.
Which he doesn't need it. Dude, you're 42. You're not gonna get prime contract. And that's why no big names have signed yet in free agency.
Which is another stupid thing.
Because A, they're waiting, or one, whatever the hell you want to call it. One, they're waiting for the CBA.
Yeah.
Two, they're waiting for Brady. I'm not waiting for a 42-year-old quarterback. If I'm going to go out and get a quarterback, I'm going to go outside a quarterback. I'm not waiting for you, Brady.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why this is such a hang-up.
NHL's still waiting for Wayne Gretzky to sign.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Babe Ruth, where are you?
Yeah, dead and buried, but that's okay. He's still better than some players. Anyway, look. For me, this Brady thing, it's really typical. It's anytime you oversaturate the fan base with Patriot talk, you make something that's enjoyable for the fan base completely and totally unenjoyable. And now in free agency, I'm like, I don't care. We just found out Josh Norman signed.
Josh Norman signed a 1-year deal with Buffalo.
Like, why isn't that news? Why am I finding this out on a scroll-by phone? A scroll-by on my phone.
Well, he hasn't been good in a couple of years, but if he could be 60% of what he
It's still a
what
big
he was,
signing.
Right. It teamed up with Tre'Davious White. That's disgusting.
And, you know, the reason why I don't say, I disagree with you. I don't think he hasn't been bad. I think he's been better than good. I think he's been great in Washington. But when you're on the field for 95% of the game, because your offense goes one in fumble, right? What can you do? Like, at some point, those snaps add up against you.
Yeah, you do get worn down. Another release happened. Former Ram Tremaine Johnson.
Yeah.
The Jets are taking like an $18 million cap hit, dead money cap hit for that. Yeah, they're $18 million in dead money, $3 million cap hit.
Why?
Because of the contract he signed back in 18. They got out of that contract early, but they're going to take a big hit on it.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you get out of that
So somebody can come along, say the Rams or whoever, can come along, they can sign him, and the Jets are on the market for most of the money on it. So
that might not be a bad move for the Rams.
It's not a bad move for anybody who signs him.
Yeah.
Just don't go over like $4 million.
And then you'd have, because I've been wrong. I've been saying he hasn't signed. Well, yet, dummy, because he's on his 5th year thing. The agreement in bringing Jalen to L.A. was that he would play his 5th year option out, that he wouldn't hold out if there wasn't a contract signed. So Jalen's going to be in L.A. for another year under the rookie contract.
Plus they trade him.
Well, that'd be great. I mean, I think they should. A couple first-round picks. But you get Jalen and you get Tremaine, that's a pretty good 1-2 corner punch. It's not Darius Slay Jr., but
Prince Amukamura's out there.
But he's 32.
Slay you have to trade for unless he's a post June 1st cut.
Yeah, which is doubtful.
Probably not. Yeah.
So I don't know. There's some options out there in the free agent market, and I'm just frustrated that we're not hearing it because it's where's Brady gonna go? Today Brady took a dump and it was wet. He went through 17 rolls of toilet paper. I don't care. I mean, that would be bad. 17 rolls. You probably should see a doctor. But
never ending.
I don't know where I come up with this stuff. I really don't. But the bottom line, I don't care. Like, I don't care.
I'm not waiting for a 42-year-old quarterback if I'm running a team. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm not going to wait for Brady to sign. He's not going to set the market. Somebody younger, somebody who throws more interceptions like Jameis Winston will set the market.
Exactly.
But how many of these teams got to do damage control after that? If Tennessee's really going to go after Brady and they don't get him, hey, Ryan Tannehill, you're our guy. We're sorry about that. Can you come back?
See, and this is where I would think it'd be interesting for somebody to make a play. So what does the NFL really have? What is the real problem? Why is a 42-year-old setting the market? Well, it goes back to what we talked about with the CBA. This product is watered down. There's too many teams in the league. Like, I'm sorry, but there aren't that many good quarterbacks. I don't enjoy watching Aaron Rodgers play anymore. I don't.
Not for like the last 3 years.
No. Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys, he may turn on in the fourth quarter, but he's going to be garbage for the first 3, or he'll be really hot in the first quarter and then completely taper off until the end of the game, if you're lucky.
What he's not going to do is turn the ball over. We've seen that.
Right.
But it's either hit Devontae Adams or an incompletion.
Yeah.
That's basically what it comes down
to. It's boring. And then you've got Drew Brees, which I was more excited for the Saints when Teddy Bridgewater was in. I actually was enjoying watching those games because you were rooting for the kid. You didn't know what he was capable of. You thought, okay, he's over the knee injury. How good is this kid really going to be? He's the future of the NFL. And then all of a sudden, Drew Brees comes back and you're like, oh, okay, they'll lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Plan B for the Patriots.
Same problem. Like, the arm is done. Ask the Minnesota Vikings how difficult it was to prepare for Drew Brees. Really? Drew Brees.
No, I'm saying Bridgewater's plan B for the Patriots.
That'd be a hell of a pickup.
Brees has already said he's coming back, and they're gonna put a first round tender on Taysom Hill. So
let's go through really quick. I want to do this. Let's go through the quarterbacks in the NFC.
All right.
Okay, let's start in the East. You've got Dak Prescott. I think he is completely and wholly unenjoyable to watch. He's just an average, okay, above average, C+ quarterback.
If he has his weapons, he can be serviceable.
That's it.
If he doesn't have Zeke, and we've seen this, he's a train wreck.
Okay. Then you've got Al my knee, Al my back, Al my elbow, Carson Wentz. Great potential, but you know what?
And he only looks for one guy, and that's Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz's numbers when Carson Wentz is quarterback are ridiculous. Deshaun Jackson can't stay healthy. Oh, my pinky toenail hurts. Yeah. I got to sit out 17 games.
Relatively unenjoyable, right? Then you've got...
Alshon Jeffrey wants out.
Yeah, there's another problem, right? Okay, now let's go to New York. You've got Danny Dimes, but we don't know what Danny Dimes can do.
Potential.
Okay, so, but that's somebody I'm kind of excited to watch because I want to know what his ceiling is.
Right.
Okay. Washington, we got Black Tebow. Surprise, here we are. Yeah, Haskins is the Black Tebow, minus all of the religious stuff, right? Why do I say he's Black Tebow? Horrible delivery. All of the criticism that they had of Tim Tebow in his delivery, in his approach, in his on-field quarterbacking ability, you could literally take Tim Tebow's name out and put Haskins in, okay? I mean, I knew this guy wasn't good at Ohio State. Oh, he set all kinds of records at Ohio State. Yeah, miss me with that nonsense. So did David Klingler of the Houston Cougars back in the 1980s and early 90s. Who? Exactly. I rest my case. Rick Meyer was a great quarterback in college, unless you watched Notre Dame games and you went, that guy's kind of crappy. How about Ryan Leaf, the can't-miss product from Washington State? Unless you went to a Washington State Cougars game and went, wow, this guy kind of sucks. Right? Like, that was Haskins at Ohio State. Okay, so he threw for records. Wonderful. Records don't mean anything. It doesn't translate.
Well, when you're throwing against Northwestern and Rutgers.
Right? In Maryland, because there's a team that should be in the Big East.
And Illinois.
Or it's not the Big East. What is it? It's the
Big Ten.
Big Ten, yeah, that's right. Illinois, there's another one, yeah. Friggin' too busy drinking Champlain to play football out down there. Like, miss me with this. It's a joke. Michigan State, when have they been good in my lifetime?
The news. D'Antonio stepped down.
I know.
About time.
When have they been good? I was born in 1979. When was Michigan State a good football team?
Basketball won in 7.
Well, yeah, basketball, right? Michigan. Oh, my goodness. What happened to the Wolverines? Right? Stink. What's another one?
Stink.
Wisconsin. Yeah, they're really great until they play a ranked team, and they forget to show up.
Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana. There's another one. The Hoosiers. Yeah.
Penn State.
Yeah. Well, Penn State's at least legit. That's like the
Decent.
only good team in that entire division.
Nebraska. Keep going west.
Yeah.
Iowa. Minnesota.
Minnesota. There's another one. Minnesota good year last year. Haskins wasn't there last year, dummies. Right? I mean, it's garbage. Wisconsin's week 6, Wisconsin will be done. That's it. They'll start losing all their games after week 6.
I call Anthony all the time because I get a lot of Wisconsin games, and it's funny because they lost to Illinois in Illinois, and I called him. I said, "Hey, when we talk about college football upsets, who's the first team that comes to mind?" He's like, "Wisconsin." I'm like, "They lost."
Exactly. Right? So for me, Haskins he is what I thought he was. And, well, Anthony, don't you need to give quarterbacks 3 years? Not some. No, you don't. You didn't need to give Ryan Leaf 3 years. You need to give him 3 snaps. And you're like, ooh, he sucks. Okay, my bad. Right? Haskins, same problem. So if Tebow was terrible, then Black Tebow is terrible. So we can move on from Washington like they're going to this year when they get Tua in the draft.
We'll see how the rebuild goes with Ron Rivera.
Yeah. So let's move to the Central. Trubisky? Yeah, we're moving on.
I told you I wouldn't have drafted him anyway.
I know you exactly, right?
I'll say that till he's off the team.
Okay, so that's not very good or promising, right? So now let's go to Minnesota. Kirk Cousins? No one was a bigger fan of Kirk Cousins than me. Now he's literally unwatchable.
The last time Michigan State was good at football.
And even that was debatable, right? I mean, that's just, and I don't mean good for a year. I mean a run, like USC had.
He needs to do that next year too.
Well,
but against better teams.
No, well, the thing is, Cousins isn't good. He's average, like you said, serviceable. So far, we've had terrible to serviceable. No one's been amazing.
Rodgers isn't what he used to.
Rodgers isn't what he used to. I'm tired of seeing an old 40-year-old quarterback taking plays when younger guys could come in and maybe make a transition here. I don't enjoy watching Aaron Rodgers play. It's absolutely boring. Who else is Detroit? Stafford. That's about the only one so far that I would say is above average. So far.
And even that's questionable.
Very questionable. Same thing, age, right?
Not just age, durability. Health.
Well, there's that too.
I mean, he had a broken back last year. He wanted to play, and they're like, no.
Okay.
And then you see his backups, and it's like watching the Bears.
Oh, my gosh. Now let's go to the South. Matt Ryan, he's been above average, but
he's had his bad year and everything, but he's MVP 4 years ago. But he still gets the ball out. He still does a good job. It's the talent around him. The defense.
The defense. I'm glad you said that. He's an enjoyable product.
Yes.
So far we have one. We've gone through 2 divisions, and we have 2 divisions. I said 4. 2 divisions, and we have 1 good quarterback so far in the NFC. So far.
Carolina, you don't know what they're doing.
Well, and Scam Newton, I was never a fan of anyway.
Who knows if he'll even be there?
Right? Then you've got Tampa Bay.
They don't
even have a quarterback at the moment.
No.
All right.
And then Breeze.
Yeah.
And I'll give Breeze the number 2.
Okay. Again.
I'm sorry, he can still get the job done.
More so than the other 2 that we talked about.
Yeah.
Brady and Rodgers. Well, 3. Brady's, Rodgers, and Stafford. I agree with that. So I'll put him at 1A, and I'll put Ryan at 2. Now let's go to the West. Now the West is actually pretty exciting. Russell Wilson.
The West has actually 3.5 decent quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's the best division in football.
And I'm saying 0.5 because Kyler Murray was a rookie last year.
Yeah. The potential's there.
He's got potential.
But the potential isn't like the potential with Dak, where we've seen the ceiling and we go, okay.
Right.
We don't know what the ceiling is with him.
Know.
So you're talking 5. I'm going to go 5. 6. I'll go 6. The 4 in the West, all 4 quarterbacks are exciting and enjoyable to watch.
Blake Bortles.
And actually, well, what do you think about Garoppolo? Do you think he's enjoyable?
I've watched enough Niner games this past season to where I've seen him look.
That Saint game was unbelievable.
I've seen him look pedestrian against Seattle when they lost Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah.
The Saints game, he played great.
Yep.
So he's somewhere between the Seattle game and the Saints game. He's somewhere in there. He's not that low, but he's not that high.
So you're talking 10 quarterbacks in the NFC that are absolute garbage to pedestrian, and 6 quarterbacks that you're actually excited to watch?
I'll turn on a Niners game and watch Garoppolo.
I'm with you. Okay, just keeping with this theme, let's go to the AFC, because maybe the AFC, there's more. So far, we have 6. This is what I mean by watered down, though, right?
AFC East.
Okay, you got
Sam Darnold.
I'm not excited to watch him play.
Jury's still out. Well, not after I'm seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
No. Josh Allen. Yes.
I am. I'm a little concerned with that playoff performance.
I am too, but he's still young enough.
Okay, so there's 7.
And then whoever the hell is quarterbacking down in Miami.
Well, might forget Miami. That's a joke. Brady, I'm sorry. Not excited to see Brady play. Oh, you're watching greatness. No, I'm watching a noodled arm court. I'm watching Peyton Manning, except it's not going to end at the end of the year. It's going to extend 3 more years. Unenjoyable. No question about it. Moving to the Central. North. Jackson? Okay. Action Jackson was pretty exciting this year, but
MVP.
it's a comet. But
But
I'll put him in there. That's 8.
It is, and what we said about the playoff about Josh Allen also fits with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, if Lamar can overcome, he said he's gone back and he's watched his tape, and he's like, I got to get the ball out sooner. Awesome.
Yeah.
Do it. Okay? The postseason is a different animal.
So that's 8.
Roethlisberger.
No, absolutely not.
Not anymore.
Okay. We agree on that.
Dalton.
No.
Baker.
No.
Okay. AFC South. Who's quarterbacking it? Minshew.
No.
No,
I'm not excited for Minshew. He'll take his porn mustache and go back to the industry. I'm done with him.
Brissett?
Little daddy's around all the time, too. It just creeps me out. I don't like him. He annoys me.
Brissett?
No. He's a backup.
He's not flashy.
He's a backup. He's a good backup quarterback.
He is.
Okay, Houston.
Deshaun?
Yeah, there's 9.
We don't know who's going to quarterback in Tennessee. I can't put them on the list.
I wouldn't anyway. I wouldn't. Would you put him on the list? Would you put him on the list?
1 year wonder though. No.
Body of work, no. So 9. We're at 9. We're not even at 10 yet.
AFC West.
Mahomes, absolutely. There's 10.
Who?
David Carr. I'll put him on there 11. I enjoy watching Carr.
I wouldn't put David Carr on there.
I enjoy watching
only
him.
because his name is Derek.
I do this every time. David Carr's retired, Anthony. Derek. I'll put Derek on the list. That's 11.
Drew Lock.
Next. Oh, yeah, Phillip Rivers.
No, he's not even there anymore. They've already parted ways.
I know,
Who
but he
who
was.
else is back? Oh, Tyrod Taylor. Yeah!
That's 11 out of 32 teams. That's not even half the league.
Would you put, no matter where Rivers goes, would
No.
you put him on there?
No, I wouldn't put him on there.
Okay.
It's not enjoyable to watch. I like it. Okay. I'll go 12. I'll put him on there.
Does it depend on where he goes?
No. The reason I put him on there is because his sideline antics and his passion for the game, I'm gonna backtrack. It is enjoyable to watch. His play isn't always great, but that man loves football.
You know who his best friend is, right?
His wife, apparently. They have 75 kids.
Jay Cutler.
Is it really?
No, they kids at each other.
Oh, is that true? I can understand why. Cutler's a piece of anyway.
He is.
Yeah. But I would put Rivers on there. So 12. But that's 12 out of 6 out of 32 teams.
That's not even half.
No. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad. And that's your best position. Let's just I'm going to back now.
That's 37.5% of the league.
Let's go to I'm just going to go to 1989 since we were watching these games. 1989, we're going to start in the East. Troy Aikman? You think people were excited for Troy Aikman coming out of college? And boy, did that turn out to bear fruit. So you had Troy Aikman. Phil Simms, totally enjoyable to watch. Good quarterback. Super Bowl winner, right? Loved the style of football that they played too. Okay,
Cunningham.
Washington. Randall Cunningham. Definitely. You got 3 out of 3 so far. Mark Rippon. Miss me with that nonsense. Mark Rippon. He was not fun to watch. He was a good quarterback, but no one was like, I got to watch Rippon play. You had 3 out of 4 right there. Okay. Cardinals. Anyone that they put out. After Neil Lomax retired, that was a poop show and a half. So you had 3 out of 5. It's not bad. Now let's go to the Central. Back then it was the Central.
Yeah.
Shut up. You had the Bears. Okay.
We don't know who their quarterback is.
Well, Jim Harbaugh. Not Mike Tomczak.
Not in 89.
Yeah.
Not Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, it was Jim Harbaugh and Mike Tomczak because McMahon had left. It was. Those are the two that were fighting it out. It was. Look it up. You got your phone right there.
Don Mikowski.
Don Mikowski. Definitely. You're saying no? The Magic Man? Brought Green Bay from the doldrums? I'm going to say him. Okay? No one in Minnesota. The Vikings were terrible. I mean, they were a good football team, but the quarterback play. Detroit. There's another one. So we're at 4. Tampa had Vinny Testaverde.
They did.
Some people liked him. He definitely was entertaining. Would you put him on the list? So you got 4 out of 9. This is starting to look bad. Now I'm starting to look stupid. Jim Everett, absolutely. Joe Montana, absolutely. Bobby Hebert, absolutely. Chris Miller was a relatively good quarterback. People were high on him coming out. People want to see what he could do. He made some pretty good plays. Even he impressed you today. We were watching that.
He's getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, he was, but he still made that unbelievable throw.
He was.
So that's, right there, right? You got 4 in the West. Again, noticing a pattern here. 4 in the West. You say 1, I say 2 in the East. Or in the Central. Right? Mm-hmm. But I'll go with 1. So that's 5. And then you had 3. That's 8. 8 out of 14. That's more than half, folks. We're not even there yet. Let's go to the AFC East. Dan Marino, yes, please. May I have some more?
Who?
Jim Kelly, shut up. Jim Kelly, absolutely. Steve Grogan, if you were a Patriot fan, you probably didn't even like Steve Grogan.
Probably Tony Eason.
Yeah, well, Eason was gone by 89, but he was garbage too. Ken O'Brien, I loved him. I don't care what anyone says. I'm putting him on the list because I loved watching Ken O'Brien games. Right? And then the Colts. Chris Chandler.
Chandelier.
Yeah.
No.
No. So you've got 3 right there.
Chandler wasn't good until he got to the Falcons.
Yeah, I know. 8, 9, 10. 11. It's 11. Right? We're at 11. Now let's go to the Central. Bubby Brister. No one was excited to watch Bubby Brister. His parents weren't even good. They tried to give him up for adoption when he was born. I'm kidding. That's not a true story. I have no idea. Bernie Kosar. Yes, please.
Boomer
Esiason. Warren Moon. Yes, please. So now we're at 14, and we're at what?
We're not even in the West.
No. You're at 20. Yeah, you're at 23. 23 teams, and you've already got 14. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to the West. John Elway? Yeah. And then that's it. Everyone else, Dave Craig, Jay Schrader, Bill Kenny. If he was the quarterback, it might have been Steve DeBerg by then.
Jay Schrader was awesome.
Oh, my God. The Chargers had John Freese, and Jim McMahon was the quarterback in San Diego in 89. It's true. Okay, so 15 of the 28 teams had a top-notch quarterback. That's more than half the league.
Yep.
Not much of a comparison. And we're using only the best position. We're not even going into the other players.
Right.
Every team was loaded with somebody you had to watch. Now, you've got like 3 or 4 teams you're like, I don't even want to see them play. Like, please, turn that off. I'd rather watch paint dry. Okay.
Nobody's turning on to watch the Bengals.
Except my son, but he's 6 and doesn't know any better. Moving on. What else are we talking about? So that's why the NFL has a real problem.
Yeah.
It's relatively unwatchable. Now you're going to extend 2 games?
Don't get me wrong. If they extend 2 games, you're going to see 2 new teams in the league.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. I'll call it right now.
Ooh.
And one of them, and they'll move Jacksonville to London.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to put another team in London.
London or Spain or Germany or something?
Put them in Italy.
Put them wherever.
Yeah, put them in Italy. Call them the Coronas. That's the chair, I swear to God.
No, it wasn't.
Shut your mouth. It absolutely was. Don't do that to me on live television. It's not even television. It's YouTube. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. All right. So
the other trade that happened with the cornerback, Denver. They got without having to look it up, I forgot who it was.
Yeah.
But it was some.
It was Bouye. AJ
Bouye, yeah, from Jacksonville. We gave up a 4th-round pick.
You called Denver at the end of the year too.
I did.
You did, and that's very.
And they still have Chris Harris, which currently, but if he doesn't re-sign there, I mean, yeah, he's 31, but
you go get him.
Yeah.
You flip the bill for that.
Yeah.
That is some major shutdown capability right there. And if they do sign him, Bouye and Harris at the same, that might be the best corner combination in the league. That's like Michael Haynes and Lester Hayes right there.
That would rival Gilmore and
the guy you don't know,
and whoever else is McCourty.
Oh
Gilmore,
yeah,
McCourty. And then Norman and White in Buffalo.
Yeah, be interesting to watch.
And don't fall asleep on Minka Fitzpatrick either. But no. he's more safety.
He's awesome. Yeah, he's a safety.
He can do both.
He should have stayed in Miami. That could have been
that's a big pickup by Pittsburgh.
I hate Pittsburgh. Okay,
Pittsburgh.
Of course you do. Moving on. Let's go ahead and hit these uniforms.
Yeah, let's do it. The Browns, we have no clue.
So
what do you want to see?
This is what I want to see. Go back to the white face mask. Keep it sounds tacky. Okay. I don't even have the thing. Eric, you talk. I'll be right back.
So,
what do you want to see?
Honestly, I just want to see. I want the Browns to go back to their '80s roots. That's what I prefer to see. Go back, keep the orange helmet. I know it's an orange helmet, and it doesn't look. It's not brown.
It's classic.
But you can't have a brown helmet on that team.
No.
The brown jersey works perfectly. I don't care if your stripes around the sleeves are a little bit bigger. And they go back to when Biner and Kozar were there.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. And get their pants and their stirrups to match, and maybe change those up a little bit.
No. Here's why the '80s uniform works so well. Okay, I'm cutting you off. I know that's what you want to see. You say modernize the pants, whatever. But this is what made. So this is the helmet that I'm sorry for this really rudimentary gumball helmet, but white face mask. Thinner stripes, brown on each side, white. Why did this work? It worked because their pants were white, right? They had the brown jerseys, but there was white and orange in it. And they had the big white numbers, no outline. It looked sharp. It made the white pop out. When they had, for a while there, they were going all white jersey, white pants with a little bit of brown and orange accent. I don't even think they had any orange accents in it, to be honest with you.
Maybe just the sleeve.
Just a little bit, yeah, that was about it. The 80s roots, what you're talking about, the late 80s. Because the early 80s, they had those god-awful orange pants. And no one liked those. Those were hideous.
Serious question for you.
Yeah.
Are you ready for a Browns black jersey?
Oh, my God. Right?
The Browns are going to wear black.
It doesn't make any sense. All I'm saying is I think the Browns just need to go back to what worked. Go back to what the fans want. If they follow the Rams' prescription here, and I believe the Rams are, I'm going to tell you what the Ram uniforms are. Spoiler alert. Okay?
No. We're not going to tell you. We're going to show you.
Yeah.
Because it's right there. Right there. No, not there on his hat. It's right there up on his wall.
Oh, shut your mouth.
Right there. That.
What?
Right there. Jim Everett.
Oh, they can't see that.
I know they can't.
That right there. Jimmy Everett.
That's right.
Go
back to that full time.
Yeah. No, they should. They should. So, and I think they will. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. Just to finish up with the Browns, we don't know what the Browns are going to do. But their colors are orange and brown. They're not the best looking colors. But what the Browns did in the late 80s, it worked.
You can make it work.
And they did. The 80s and 90s unis were the best unis the Browns have ever had. And why? Because they went back to the 50s look with a little bit of a modern twitch.
Brown and orange aren't the easiest colors to work with. No. Okay? The Browns had it right. Then they decided to change things up a little bit.
And it was
go back to the roots. Go back to your 80s look. You'll pull it off perfectly.
Because here's what they did wrong. After that, right, they had that look in 99. They were good for a couple of years. And then they went to the gray face mask, which annoyed me. Because it just made everything so blah. Nothing popped about that uniform. I don't care how this sounds. It matters. Kids pick a team based off of the uniform. Love it, hate it, like it, disagree with it, it's irrelevant. It's a fact.
Could be regional location.
But even then, you're going to tell me you didn't like the Bear Unis?
I grew up in Chicago.
You tell me you didn't like the Bear Unis?
Love the Bear Unis.
You know why so many people like the Cubs? Because of the Unis. Do you know why I like the Bears? Because of those away Unis. With the blue pants. Those were sharp, man. And then when the homes, they had the white pants, which really offset everything. And I, for the longest time, thought they were black.
You don't like the orange?
But the Browns, they went to this gray face mask, and it was like, why? It just made everything, and then the white was completely irrelevant, made no sense, and then, God, they went from bad to worse, much like the organization, when they switched to these college-style throw-ups. Let's put Browns in big, bold, crap brown-colored across the front of the jersey, because I don't know what team you are. I have to read it on your shirt, right? And I just, there's so many things.
You shouldn't.
The brown pants, remember that?
I know it's right here. He's got Rams on here on his jersey or whatever. You don't really need your team name on your jersey. Like, you need to be really...
That right there doesn't have it on the jersey.
No, it doesn't.
Sorry.
It doesn't. And your helmet would solidify more. I mean, what was it, the Bengals that used to have Bengals on their helmet?
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah.
And then they put the stripes on it and it was like, oh, these are pretty sweet.
Yeah, not a lot of people like them anymore. But I still think, like, they're different. It's flashy, but it doesn't, like, stand out to where it's ugly.
Who doesn't like those anymore? Are these the same people that think the Seahawks have a great uniform?
Yes. Yes.
Then they're not real people. They're fake. They're morons. They literally don't have a say. If you're that stupid, the Seahawks look great. You probably think the Patriots switch was pretty good, right? Probably didn't like the Minuteman.
The Minuteman was great.
Right?
The red just stood out.
Oh my God. Every red, white, and blue.
Well, yeah.
Now they're just blue.
Silver.
What are your colors? Red, white, and blue. Silver helmet. Really? Like, does anybody else go, what?
Logic isn't the strongest point in the NFL.
Oh, my God. Anyway, enough about the Browns. Let's get to the real crux. Ram uniforms. Guys, this one cracks me up. Text me. He's like, take a look at this. Shows me his Twitter thing. The whole time, it's just Demoff trolling people. Even him. He didn't even realize it. Right? They're like, Demoff, what's the new uniform going to look like? On his Twitter portfolio. He puts up all these pictures. Kind of like these ones was every single uniform. But his logo was this. Right? Oh, I don't know, man. You're going to really keep the St. Louis gold? What about this? Like, yeah, you're right. We could take the St. Louis gold up, repost another one, right? Has the old 80s and the 90s, and the, with the 60s and all that. He's like, I like these ones. Again, this is his portfolio picture, right? His profile picture. So I tell Eric, I'm like, dude, he's trolling these people. I know what the Rams' new unis are. And Eric's like, doesn't say anything. I'm like, did you notice his Twitter portfolio or his Twitter profile pic? Eric's like, I didn't pay attention to that. Well, apparently neither did anybody else because that was his profile pic.
And those were so-called Ram fans.
Yeah, I know, right? And they couldn't catch it. I'm dying. I'm laughing my rear end off reading this tweet back and forth, and I'm like, Demoff is trolling them hard.
We'll find out when they release it.
Well, here's what's going to happen. So the Rams are going to release, on draft day, they'll be in there and they'll show the Rams' new helmet. Mark my words. The Rams' new helmet will be on the draft table. And they'll make a point to show it. You're going to see this.
Not till like the third round.
Well, maybe earlier. They won't be drafting earlier, but maybe earlier they'll show the helmet.
Let's go to L.A. They show Chargers.
Yeah, right? So I think you're going to see this helmet. Now, the uniform itself, they could do a number of things to it. They could modernize it. They don't need to. Don't mess with a good thing. That's perfect. And as good as that Jim Everett uniform was, the aways were even better. The yellow pants with the white jersey and the yellow with the blue horn and the blue numbers, you talk about popping. Everything stood out on that uniform. That was my favorite uniform, period, that the Rams had. I love the away whites more than I ever loved the blues. And the blues were pretty sharp. The only thing they could do to modernize it is they could darken the helmet a little bit to make it match the jersey. Or lighten the helmet a little bit. Because that was the one thing about that uniform that was kind of a trip. Is the jerseys were always lighter than the helmet.
It seemed like the yellow was a little off, too.
Well, it's more of a... That's a tough picture because it's a morning game against the Giants. So it's hard to tell.
Oh, must have lost.
No, they won. Excuse me, they own the Giants, even now. But, plus it was Jim Everett.
West Coast team. Going east.
Yeah, always did well. Beat the Giants in the divisional game. Yeah. What'd your Bears do in New York in 91? January? 31-3 or something like that?
A little too cold for you in 85?
Yeah, shut your face. All right.
Not enough fur?
Yeah. I got plenty of that. I think it's going to be the blue and yellow. But, I mean, we'll wait and see. A lot of people are like, oh, did you see the... I was talking to LT. He's like, go take a look at the new post. And they showed the Rams draft hat, which looked like green and...
They come up with the weirdest and strangest and dumbest designs lately for the draft hat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what the heck are you wearing?
Yeah, it's green and blue. Like, you have green in the uniform.
Unless the draft takes place on St. Patrick's Day.
Right? Well, and not only that, but green and blue. It's, what are you, the Seahawks?
That's not even... Yeah.
That's the Seahawk colors.
Might as well just show the ocean.
Yeah. Right?
With
LA Ocean. Yeah, there you go.
There, have some seaweed.
So, I don't know. That's what I think. What do you think?
I think they should be able to do that.
Do you think they will?
I hope that. I hope so. I've always loved that combination.
Yeah.
I mean, then when they went to when they went to the gold, it was all right. It was something different at the time, but I don't think it ever like fully caught on.
It never did. I never liked it.
No.
I remember pissed. The Rams won the Super Bowl, and the next year they have these new uniforms, and I'm like, why? Why? And then they kind of did okay with the gold pants. Like, that was good. The gold pants with the white jerseys. You know, they kind of kept that theme going with the gold home and the gold away pants. But then they switched to these white pants, and I'm just like, oh, my God, dude. Stop. Just stop. Nope. No. I agree. All right. Well, lastly, Haskins. Do you take Tua? So I'll tell you what my idea was in a minute, but Eric, you put your 2 cents in on Black Tebow.
If I'm the Bengals, I take Chase Young number 1. And that leaves the Redskins.
You just want to troll the Redskins.
And that just leaves the Redskins with a big decision.
There's no big decision.
Burrow.
There's no big decision.
Tua or trade.
So it's Burrow or Burrow or Burrow. And if it isn't Burrow, then you're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Straight apprentice that crap. Get that out of here and kick him out. You can't be that stupid and still have a job.
If you know you're going to be as bad next year, you take Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. As far as the Bengals go...
I understand where you're coming from.
As far as the Bengals go...
And I don't think
here's the question.
I don't think the Bengals will.
They won't. They've already said they're taking Burrow, and it's the right move. Here's my point, because you didn't answer my question, but I'll get to that in a minute. Here's my point. When do you get a quarterback? When? What happens if next year...
In this draft, you take Burrow 1.
You do. You have to if you're the Bengals. You don't take the edge rusher.
Make your defense better.
Right now, you don't have a quarterback. Your defense isn't going to be better when your offense is 1 and out. See the Washington Redskins.
You can make it work.
No.
You could.
Dude.
It's a big gamble. You could make it work. But I understand.
That's a Trubisky-type move.
Dude, Trubisky move never would have happened under my watch.
That's what I'm saying. It's a Trubisky-type move.
But you don't know that Chase Young could be the next Lawrence Taylor.
Okay, but Lawrence Taylor still had Phil Simms already there.
Yeah, and your boy Dalton can still stay.
My boy Dalton isn't what he used to be.
Mr. I'm going to pick the Bengals to go to the championship game.
And I learned hard, didn't I? We're picking number 1. If the championship game is the draft,
at least
won.
when I picked the Giants, they didn't pick number 1.
Were they 3?
It's close enough.
Yeah, it was bad this year, man. Don't let me do prediction shows no more.
No, I mean, I can see a case where if the Bengals wanted to, they could do it. It would be a hard sell. But you have to take Burrow at 1. You just do.
You do. He's
do.
the best quarterback in this draft, and he's
kind of
exactly what you need.
The kind of year that he had, that doesn't go unnoticed.
Here's the thing, too. Everyone talks about this year, but look at him last year. Here's what I noticed about Burrow last year when he was playing, and he didn't play much, right? Started late, okay? But what did he do really well? Played without a care.
Yeah.
The same things we saw work out for him this year didn't work out for him last year, but he was the same guy.
Well, he also had a lot of miles under his belt as far as where he's gone to school and what kind of programs he was in, so that helped. But he gave LSU a different dimension that we'd never seen before. Or I felt like we'd never seen before on the offensive side of the field.
Not since the Grey Ghost, and that was before our time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's still a chance they take Burrow and they still end up picking number 1 next year.
Yeah.
Before any trades are made.
Yeah. That's a possibility. But is there going to be an edge rusher like this kid next year?
Edge rushers, they come out of nowhere. They really do.
That's because more teams pass now in college, and they don't translate. I mean, Jadeveon Clowney was supposed to be this great sack artist. I have more sacks than Jadeveon Clowney. That's a lie. But you get the point. Was he worth number 1 overall?
Guess depends who you ask.
How about Mario Williams?
Ooh, there's a name. That could have been. Or what could have been.
Was he worth number 1?
Nope.
How about Simeon Rice?
I don't think Rice won 1.
No, he's like 2. Went to the Cardinals, number 2.
3.
Yeah. Was he a top 5 pick?
Was it Cardinals first?
Yeah, Cardinals.
Then Tampa.
Yep.
I thought it might have been Tampa.
He wasn't worth it. I mean, when's the last edge rusher to go in the top 5 that you were like, yeah, and he's going to be amazing, and was?
Nick Bosa? But it's still jury's still
1
out.
year.
Jury's
1 year.
still out. Yeah.
His brother in San Diego, absolutely not.
No. Too many foot problems.
We'll see. I'm trying to think.
Watt considered a D-end or DT?
D-line, edge rusher, I'd count him. When did he go?
Top 5?
Okay.
Maybe not. Oh, Texans seemed like they were always up there, though.
Mediocre.
Yeah.
Never bad enough to be a top 5, but never good enough to be out of the top, in the playoffs. I don't know. I mean, to me, that's a fascinating question. So, you are more likely to hit on a quarterback than you are a pass rusher. And especially today with the rules skewed the way they are in the passing game, more and more guys are getting opportunities to sack the quarterback.
Yeah, but who wants to play defense when you're going to get a flag on you every 5 seconds?
That's the other thing you have to consider when you're drafting, right? Do I really want to draft a transformational defensive lineman like what's his name in Cleveland?
Garrett.
Yep. When his style of play, he would be Bruce Smith Jr. in the 80s and 90s. He would be Lawrence Taylor. He would be beloved. He would be a Pro Bowler every year and probably a 15 to 16, I'd say 12 to 16 a year sack guy. But today he's a hothead. He's a danger. He doesn't know when to turn it off. He's a bad inspiration. He's a dirty player. Really? Really? Could you imagine Mike Singletary today? He'd been out of the league in 3 years.
Anybody. Kevin Green.
Oh, God, Kevin Green.
Greg Lloyd.
Greg Lloyd was a beast. None of these guys.
No.
So why draft a defensive lineman?
Got to stop somehow. Can't let the offense score every time.
No. I'm saying if I'm a top 5 guy.
Cornerbacks can't touch anybody.
Right? So I would say the only position on defense that I would really focus on would be corner if you had like an outstanding cover guy who could cover somebody without touching them.
And who's not 5'9".
Thank you. Minimum height requirement is 6'1". You got receivers now that are like 6'6". The hell you put a 5'9" corner on them for? It's like a child running out there, right? Miss me with this nonsense. But you got a 6-foot plus corner like a Sherman. Almost called him Sherman Williams again. Like a Richard Sherman. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
There was a couple guys last year.
Yeah.
They were 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, top 5? Absolutely.
They got drafted in like the 6th, 7th round.
Well, because they were terrible.
Drafted by the Bears.
They're moving to the tight end tomorrow. Look.
Probably.
All I'm saying is, if I'm a GM or I'm a head coach, quarterback, O-line, wide receiver, tight end, DB, running back. Any one of those would be worth a top 5 pick. Well, why running back, Anthony? If you got a top 5 caliber running back, you got a 3 or 4 year window where you can run the dog pee out of them with a good quarterback, and you got yourself a nice little dynasty real quick.
You taking a chance on Melvin Gordon? He's free agent.
Who am I?
Miami.
No. Buffalo? Yes.
Over Singletary?
Yes.
No.
I didn't say over Singletary. With
Singletary? Colts.
They got a pretty good running back though.
Marlon Mack?
Yeah.
He's all right.
He's good. He's more of a fullback.
Detroit.
Yeah, I don't like carry on though. I like carry on.
Can't stay healthy.
Neither can Gordon, so you're just replacing
sure.
Gordon with Gordon. Green Bay.
Not over Aaron Jones.
Why not?
What he just did? He's about to get a contract extension.
1 year guy. We'll see what he does next year. Gordon's a proven commodity.
Proven it's sitting out.
How about Tampa Bay?
They're going to get Le'Veon.
Le'Veon's going to the Rams. I keep telling you this.
Le'Veon's going to Tampa. They're going to trade to Tampa.
He's going to the Rams.
Seattle.
They need a running back, yeah. That'd be a good fit.
I mean, they signed Greg Olson. Yeah. That could be a scary offense.
That would be a good fit. How about, San Francisco's loaded.
Yeah, they got 3 guys. Plus Jerick McKinnon coming back.
How about Washington?
Could doable. But who's your quarterback?
I told you. Not this year, but 2 years is going to be Tua. Because that's who the Redskins are drafting, number 2. It's the only move.
Philly.
Yeah. That'd be a really good fit. That might be the best fit in the NFC altogether. I think that's probably even better than Seattle, to be honest with you. Especially with their quarterback situation. What a better way to keep him healthy.
Yeah.
Wentz. Jacksonville?
Just figure out what you got to do with
Fournette?
Fournette, yeah.
Was he even alive this year?
He was.
I thought he had the coronavirus. They quarantined him or his rear end after week 1. Never heard of the guy.
That was last year. He had a decent year this year.
Did he?
Yeah, he was on the field all 16 games.
Never saw him on a highlight package.
Everybody was talking about Minshew.
Well, I saw him in the Denver game. He didn't do much, but yeah, I saw him in the Denver game.
Denver. Ooh, that's not a bad fit either.
I don't know. I do like their running back, though. Little mini TD.
Mike Anderson? Orlando Scary?
How about Chicago?
I don't know if I'd want him there. I do like the running back from Iowa State, David Montgomery. I do. They just need it. But Gordon couldn't survive behind that O-line.
Well, that's a good point.
The only way the Bears get better is if they get a couple of O-line.
So you giving up on David Johnson?
Man, he needs a reclamation project.
Yeah, he does.
They're talking Kenyon Drake for $8 to $10 million a year. Too much?
Too much. Too much. I'm a Bama guy. That's too much. All right. So, let's look at the running back position. What it can do for you when you get a transitional player, a transformational player, a guy who can do multiple things.
Well, you just need him to catch the ball out of the backfield.
And run and pass block. You couldn't pass up on a Marshall Faulk.
No. Couldn't pass up on a...
LaDainian, no. But I'd be willing, in today's football, I might pass up on I wouldn't say an LT. You're not going to pass up on an LT, but I might pass up.
You don't know what LT was going to be anyways. I mean, yeah, he was great at TCU, but...
TCU? LaDainian.
Yeah. But he's... You don't know until you get on the field.
No, I meant Lawrence Taylor. Like, I might be willing to pass up on a Wilbur Marshall, right? Or a Mike Singletary. As crazy as that sounds, in today's football, could those guys make it work? Here's a fun assignment.
I think Taylor could play in any era, but I don't think Marshall or Singletary could.
Name me a linebacker today who hits like a truck, makes you get out of your seat with excitement when he hits somebody, that you would pay money just to go see them play. If you can name one, you're lying. You're lying.
Bobby Wagner.
You're lying.
I named one.
I said you're lying.
I'd say Kuechly, but he's out.
That's not true, though. Corey Littleton. I could name one.
You're lying.
I'm lying. There's not much, though, right?
If he gets his head on straight.
I mean, Dallas.
Roquan.
Yeah, but I don't.
Dude's a beast.
I don't care. Too many off-field issues.
Yeah.
To me, he's not a good person.
That's why I said get his head on.
I wouldn't pay money to see him, though. I feel like I would be contributing to his.
I got one. I would have done it last year.
What about the kid from Dallas?
Nope. Not Leighton. Not Leighton.
Not Leighton.
Not Sean Lee.
No.
Who?
The dude from Notre Dame that had it tore it up last year.
Oh. Jalen Smith?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Nope.
All right.
No. I got one. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the reason why Jameis Winston won't be back. Because they're going to franchise tag him. Shaq Barrett.
He was a D tackle.
No, he wasn't. A linebacker.
Was he?
Yeah.
He was a beast.
Yeah. He tore up Carolina in the London game.
He tore up the Rams in the LA game.
Right there. Shaq Barrett over Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
I would do. I would go and watch and pay.
I just can't think of anybody.
And there's only probably a handful of D linemen, and Mack and Donald are two of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, crazy. Well, listen, guys. We went on for an hour and 13 minutes because we like to keep things short. Anyway, we hope you liked it. We got some more shows we're going to post tomorrow, and we'll also do a show tomorrow, and we should be posting every day. So you'll see this on Tuesday. You'll see another one on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, even though he won't be here. He leaves Saturday, but we'll do 5 shows just for you guys. Hit the subscribe button, click the bell, recommend to a friend. This is real talk, real total football talk. I'm Anthony.
I'm Eric.
Go Rams.
Go Bears.
Horns up.
Bear down.